Hello guys, Dan here from VHIX 411. Today in front of me I have a Mercedes or two Mercedes ECUs. I will show you how the clone process of only the keys and the VIN number is done. If you see my other video, it requires you to open up the ECU and put it on the BDM board and read it with the K tag, this guy right here. So if you have K tag, you can actually open it up without damaging the ECU and do these with that. Hex tag can also do that. If you can communicate through the OBD, hex tag is it is possible to clone it. It will clone the whole complete ECU. It will clone the map files, which is the tune files, and of course keys and VIN. A lot of times when you're doing a complete tune, if you have a corrupt map file, cars having issues, misfire or whatever the software glitch is, that could transfer from the original to the donor. So best way, if the ECU communicates through the UBD port, we are going to be using Abritas, programming VIN number and FBS, which is the key information. If it's your first time here, share, like, subscribe. Otherwise, let's go. I will show you how it's done. And also, if you don't have the expensive tools, because this Abritas, just for Mercedes, if it's full, it's around 6-7 grand to have that from Mercedes only. So if you want it done, link below or in description, and we're gonna show you how it's done. All right, I got the special Mercedes. This is a 272 body style. 272. Got my plug over here, and I will connect it. Plug it in. Make sure my OBD is plugged to the Abritas, and we are ready. Rock and rolling. I got my Abritas over here on my screen. I'll just go to DOS Manager and I will click Engine Control Module. Now I will give it 14 volts power supply to my ECU, and let's start reading the original one. We need the information from the original one. Now this only works if the computer communicates. If it doesn't communicate, you will have to open it up, try it with the BDM K tag, if you've seen my other video. If that doesn't work, similar process has to be done what we're doing today with ignition switch. So as you can see, I am able to read the original keys information from the original ECU. Great, we'll save that. I'll just put Mercedes original, and this is FBS file, which is key information, security information. Now, I will read the original VIN number. We will need that also. As you can see, we read the original VIN number, so we'll go Mercedes, original VIN, and we will save that. Now, if I was unable to read this old ECU with K tag, or through Abritas, or through K-line, CAN-line, because the communication is busted or it's super fried, the only other option, like I said, grabbing the same information what we just did, instead of we're grabbing from the ECU like we could here, you would be grabbing from EZS, which is the ignition switch. It'll grab the same exact information, the VIN number and key information. It does take longer to crack open the electronic ignition switch, because sometimes that process could take up to a day just to unlock it to get the code, and then they'll be able to read it through there. So if it can't communicate, there are options to get your car started. All right, since this does communicate, I will unplug it, get this old computer out of the way since we're done reading it. And we are gonna connect our donor ECU with the exact same part number. Connected, plugged in, power supply. All right, let's read the new ECU information. Why we read it is we want to make sure we can communicate, and of course we always save it. As you can see, the first key information ends in BF. This one ends in 89. So we read this guy. I will put Mercedes new FBS, just in case. We like to save all files. Now read the coding. So we read the coding. We'll put Mercedes new, and then we'll put, this is the VIN number. Now, in order for me to rewrite this, I need to make it virgin. I cannot just write the key information on top. Like if you're doing a clone, it would rewrite the whole file, everything. So in this case, we need to make it virgin, like new, like we bought it from a dealer. Otherwise, if I just click personalize, it won't do anything. So first things first, let's virginize this. So it's gonna go through Abritas server, virginize the file, make it like new. Now you can make it this computer like new and then plug it into your car and have it with your Star Diagnostics or dealer. They can program this on the car if you don't want to remove your ignition switch, and the list goes on. Otherwise, there's also another option. Can't read the original ECU, you can still get it virginized and programmed on the car at the dealer, or remove ignition switch. So those are your options. Okay, now you see it's not personalized, not activated. This thing is good as new. We are gonna try to personalize it now. We do have a saved data, so we'll click yes, and we will say it is a Mercedes, it is original, and it is a FBS file that we wanna write. Open. Now it's gonna transfer the FBS file from the original ECU to the good donor ECU. And we will wait for it to transfer. As you can see, it did transfer successfully the key security information. Now, if you can see, this is the key that ends in F89. That's exactly now what we had with the original one, F89. So now our keys programmed in here, but we're not done yet. We will need to program the VIN. I mean, this is our old VIN for the new ECU 6159. I already have that saved. Now let's write VIN. I'll put Mercedes, and then we'll put original VIN number. So you can see it's a different VIN number than this one has. So we'll program the original ECU VIN number to it. It's programming, coding right now. It is done. So programming coding successfully done. Now what I'm gonna do after we're done programming the FBS file, coding the VIN number, we will need to activate it, lock this computer so it will be locked to the car you are programming it to. Otherwise, if you don't lock it, it can have a check engine light on and different codes in other systems. So we will lock this to this car. So control unit activation, it's done. Now once we read it again, as you can see before, it says, all right, so now since we locked it, before we locked it, it said not activated. We did personalize it. When it was virgin, it was not personalized and not activated. So we personalize it with our information. Now it's not activated, and when I clicked activated, it's unit activated now. So these all are program activated. So all the information from here is transferred to a good donor ECU. And I'm talking about all the information is like the security, the VIN number, key information, not the tune file. So if you did have a tune file, you only have to do that with a K tag. Otherwise, if you don't want to have your tune file transferred to the donor ECU, this is the only way to do it. It is done with the Britas in this video. It isn't cheap, so if you need it done, link below, link at the end of the video. Otherwise, like, share, subscribe, and thanks for watching. See you in the next video.